Hello. Got to do my spinny chair thing. So the other day, a few days ago, I posted my Warhammer first attempt playing a thing last week of doing my first battle, and people liked that and said do more. And I was like, okay, did a second video, and that was my first team battle. This is my got another update. This is my second solo match, and it's not against Tyranids. How wonderful. While I'm talking to you, I'm going to try to assemble the sergeant of a Devastator squad that I bought. So that way I can do at least being productive while I talk. So I met up with a guy yesterday to play a match Warhammer at a place I visited once, but I got to officially, go there for this for the first time to play. And I was bustling. A lot of people were there for it and everything, so that was exciting. Makes me hopeful for more things in the future. But that's with that. Perfect. He had Blood Angels, which is, another Space Marine type detachment. So I was like, oh, good. I get to play with something other than that for now. Now, I did change up my list. I made quite a few changes. I took out scouts. Past two times I've not done anything with scouts. So it's kind of like, why bother? In a way. So what I did add was Devastators, which is why I bought a pack. I use, of course, everything I don't have, I use caps. It was a 1,500 point match, so 3 vehicles, the Redemptor Dreadnought, which I have. The two things that I don't have is an Impulsor and a Repulsor. I used a Repulsor because after the Tyrannid thing, I realized I need to bulk up. So that's why I have the Repulsor to try to do that. And what else did I add? I added a Incursor squad. And instead of putting the Phobos Lieutenant with the Infiltrators, I put him with them. And so that way, kind of get the lethal hits ability and do different things. Because the Incursors, like, you shoot something and you can choose what you shoot at. And as long as you shot on them first and something hits, then it could, you get any other people that target that gets, extra hit rolls and everything like that. Because I looked up some advice of what to do, and I was like, okay, Incursors sound like kind of a better thing to try to start off with. And they have the Scouts ability. So that sounds good. So prepare on the Scouts. That do anything else? I mostly played kind of the same setup I had, just those things that I added along with I tried to do. He started off first, and he had mission cards, so we started off with the mission cards. So that was different playing with that. And we did have 5 objectives on the field. Did set up that way, though the middle objective, which past 2 times I did was for 10 points. I just made it 5. So just kind of make everything fair, which was good. So from there, we decided to. He got to deploy and go first, and I was like, oh boy. The only thing I had in my reserves is I did the Terminators and I did the my Cabin Shriek with the Jump Pack Intercessors, because deep strike ability. So he's gonna have the kind of Raven Guardish head or pointy head. What I'll admit, one mistake I keep making. Again, every game I learn something new. The teleport homer thing, because Terminators don't have them yet, but it seems like I can find them everywhere. So I was like, okay, the teleport homer you can put anywhere, and in order to use it, I would have to use the rapid ingress from when they're in strategic reserves, and then use it to summon them there. What I thought it was is that I can put them on the side of the field and then use that to teleport them over. But that's simply not what rapid ingress does. It's like you can summon them from strategic reserves and place them there, not thingamajig. And it's just kind of like, oh. So I messed up on that again. So I didn't really get to use that, nor did I use it right, which is fine. It's a thing. But starting with turn 1, I also made a mistake with this. Probably, I'd say, probably the biggest mistake. I feel like I didn't do well with this. The I put because the jump pack chaplain, which I use with a cap, I gave the ghost weave cloak ability that has the infiltrator ability enhancement, I should say, and that's fine. But he, I put them near what he had on his Blood Angel side. He had a three vehicles like a Librarian Dreadnought, I guess like an Impulsor type thing, and he had Hellblasters with an Apothecary. Which again, that Apothecary Hellblaster thing, I think I'm gonna try to get. And he had a Tech Marine, which he put with a Predator type vehicle. And that I put them over there near a building to try to my Vanguard, with a chaplain over there near that building to try to challenge the Tech Marine because infiltrators can go anywhere. That was a mistake. Because round one, he moves some dudes around and almost annihilates the whole squad. And it's just basically like, yeah, I can't do anything. I just like they, and even when he charges and moves his tank and stuff upward, it just kind of like I basically lost the Vanguard all in one round with the chaplain, and I did like one wound to the Tech Marine because what I was trying to do is assassinate or kill the Tech Marine, so that way he's just you know that way he can't be healing up his machine. That was my thought process. And it backfired hard. It did not go the way I wanted it to go at all. And basically didn't get to use the Vanguard. So I'm trying to learn, okay, what do I even use the Vanguard for? I know the best thing to do would be to try to implement some sort of way where they can cut. I want to use the infiltrator ability where they go in and attack something, but the infiltrator thing doesn't apply, I don't think, out of the first turn, so I can't just set them up anywhere. I don't think. I mean, give me advice and tell me what would be better, but Vanguard or melee force is what I use them for, and I want them to go in and fight stuff. I only have 5 of them. 4 of them have shields, so they have 4 have invul saves. But they just don't doing it like that on the first turn. I feel like I do better with them to keep them in deep strike and attack as opposed to you know as opposed to trying to do like an infiltrator type thing. They can be good to capture an objective quick. Absolutely, they can be used for that, and that is an effective thing to do for. That's why I paired him with a chaplain because he has he adds 1 to the wound roll, which is like, oh, that's awesome. So I can get a better chance of hitting on wounds. But I'm really rethinking how to do that. Like maybe I should put Kevin Shriek with them in order to do attacks, and the chaplain with because he's melee oriented. Anyway, I need to figure out how to do the Vanguard better. That's what I learned from this this event. Oops. And they all died in 1 round. Now, speaking of 1 round, he was able to teleport stuff because Blood Angels have like a teleport telekinesis thing when they're near something, and they moved around, and he had like a kind of like a Vanguard type thing, but it's like a Blood Angel equivalent or something. There was like 10 guys being led by 1, like some character, I don't know who it was. So he had a squad of 10. Again, it's 1,500 point round, so for squads, he didn't really have as many squads as I had because the 3 vehicles, but his squads had like 10 dudes apiece, like 10 Hellblasters, 10 of these other things. The aggressors were only 4 with a captain. So his stuff was more centered around that, which is like, okay, I see. Because I like doing a variety of units, he liked doing that. But he teleported them down, still 9 inches away, but he teleported them down towards the base of my beginning, between the incursors, between the stern guard. Because what I was going to try to do is like an incursor stern guard mix, where the incursors go forward and the stern guard kind of follow, with that extra, toughness they get to be able to hit a lot of things, which is kind of like an interesting combo, which I could have done with Devastators instead. But either way, and didn't turn out too well. On his turn, he would charge my stern guard and completely wipe him out, which is like, great, there goes my favorite unit. Great. Just perfect. And then his machines and Hellblasters, they keep assaulting my Dreadnought. They keep going after my Dreadnought, but he lived. My Dreadnought actually lived, which is like, oh, great. That's wonderful. So then I just start going on my turn. So in other words, my first turn didn't go too well, or at least on his end. So on my turn, when it was time, I try with the Impulsor, because it's near with my Infernus Marines. I have the Infernus Marines like inside the Impulsor. I try to, destroy that squad that is right next to me, because they're in between my vehicles. And it doesn't do anything. They fail. I kill like a couple guys, but the Impulsor doesn't really do anything to them. Dreadnought lives. I take one shot. I kill one Hellblaster, but that Apothecary brings it back. I didn't want to target the vehicle. I think I hit the vehicle with one thing, but I target the other stuff with the Hellblasters. And yeah, Dreadnought didn't really do anything this turn. Got to learn how to better use the Dreadnought. Got to better learn how to use it. I'm trying to think. Infiltrators went up, took a objective in the towards the middle of the board. My Vanguard got wiped out. Did I do anything with the Devastators? No, that wasn't the first turn. I didn't do anything. I didn't really do anything the first turn. I took a couple objectives, shot at stuff, but I didn't really do anything the first turn. It just wasn't. I didn't want to charge the dudes with my Impulsor, because it's just like, they're kind of outnumbered. The Impulsor doesn't have great melee, so it'd be kind of pointless to do that. So I just kind of stayed back and stayed with points on that turn. That just made the best sense. His second turn, this is where things get fun. He brings in that 10, like the 9 squad left, I guess, into my Impulsor for like first thing. And he kills it. And guess what happens? I get Deadly Demise. It actually explodes. And it kills every single one of my Infernus, because they were inside the vehicle. And none of them saved it. But the good news is, it literally wiped out his entire squad, except the character model that was leading it. So that honestly helped. Even though it sucked that I lost my Infernus Marines with that, but that 10-man squad I didn't really have an answer for without shooting at it and tying stuff up. So because of that really helped. In a roundabout way of destroying that whole Blood Angel squad. And I was like, oh, okay. And then that made it fun. Now the Dreadnought's still alive. My Devastators, they start shooting into his well, for my second part of it, but his second part, he tried shooting into the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought lives. Surprisingly, the Dreadnought lives. But I'm able to make a wound on that, and I kill a couple more Hellblasters on my turn. Of course, one would come back, but my Devastators, I keep moving them up towards the Infiltrators on that objective. They can target that Impulsor vehicle, that thing that he has, on the other side of the board. They wreck it. What I do for the Devastators, what I want to attach them with, is One has a missile launcher. Well, the Sergeant, what I'm doing is I'm going to do a hammer with a plasma pistol, so very small. But the rest of the Devastator is going to be a missile launcher, las cannon, and 2 multi-meltas. And yeah, I wrecked that. I wrecked that thing, and I destroyed it. And I'm like, yeah, the Devastators are cool. Of course, I didn't know this, and because I was looking at the box, like, why does it have this creepy cherub thing? Like, I mean, look at this. It's what is that? Why? Why is this a thing? I don't understand the little creepy cherub baby things. This universe is messed up. I don't want to know. I don't want to use that thing. I really don't. But if for official matches, you have to have the official stuff. And I'm like a guy when I was at that place, he gave me like a 3D. I'm sure it's not time. A 3D like a 3D printed just a Space Marine. I was like, oh, okay. Technically, for stuff I can't use them for anything, but for uh, official matches, I think I can. So that works. But back to the thing. That doesn't do Deadly Demise, though, his vehicle. But it was nice getting that off the board, seeing really how the infiltrators work. And the Devastators work. I'm like, yeah. Devastators fully behind for a unit. They're only 120 points. There's a Desolation Squad that's 200, and that's like, okay, yeah, they're all right, but see, I can get more bang for buck and have another unit for 120 versus the 200 of the Desolation, which, yeah, are good, but 4,000 point, yeah, but not for 1,500, 2,000. Just saying. So, now, my Repulsor I found to be very useful. I attacked his Predator thing that he had, and I had Oath of Moment on that, and plus I shot at the Tech Marine, but I also shot at the machine. I chose the machine when I shot at it for the incursors to place that incursor ability, so it has the advantage like add of the hit thing and whatever the incursor ability is, and Oath of Moment on it. Yeah, I light that thing up like pretty quick. It explodes. And it's right on the objective where the incursors are. It wipes out my incursors. It wipes out the incursors again. Oh gosh. Hand's falling off. No, hand's falling off. Okay, well, let me come back to that. It wipes out the incursors, but I had the lieutenant that I put on there, and the lieutenant lives, so yay. I have that going, which is nice. It kills the Tech Marine. So that's the good out of that. That's 2 Deadly Demises. I mean, yes, that one really helped me out with the blowing up that 10-man squad. That really effectively did anything, because it was like a melee heavy squad, and them being wiped out affected everything greatly. But it just, I didn't want to lose another squad that way. I mean, that sucked. At least the lieutenant lived, and I kept the objective. So yay. There's that, which is nice. Do this hammer again. Let's see. But so there's that. No, but because that one guy is left, I bring down Kevin Shriek in the the intercessors with the Terminators. I originally placed the Terminators behind that tank before I exploded it, because I wanted them to kind of challenge that, but then I exploded it, and the Terminators were far off from everything, so it's just kind of like, well, I can't do anything. So I try to start going after the Eliminators, but I fail to get into the objective. I can shoot him a little bit, but I can't get into the objective. He targets my group with the Librarian Dreadnought, which wipes out the Intercessors, and almost kills Kevin, but he stays alive. The Terminators are able to charge in with the charge in to help, and they do destroy that Liberian dreadnought, but he doesn't explode. Fortunately, I would have wiped out Kevin probably. Uh, so I'm able to hold on to that, but I can't get into the objective. And oh gosh, I'm doing this wrong. There we go. Ah, gosh. You ever just wonder like why don't things just fit when they're supposed to? So stay there. All right, I just gotta hold it. But unfortunately, the Hellblasters they do take out my dreadnought, and then the he teleports aggressors down, which kills my Devastator squad and wipes out the rest of the infiltrators by shooting. But so he doesn't take the objective offhand, but that one guy he has left goes after my repulsor, which again I learned about the big guns never quit rule. I'm like, oh, okay. So I can target everything else, just not really him. But it was 8:30 after almost like 3 hours of playing. And it was late and he said, yeah, I gotta work in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I understand that. So at the end of the game, he had more points at about 56 to my 31 because the points and everything he had, the cards he drew were a lot better than the ones I was drawing. And at the end of the game, as far as men, I had Kevin Shriek, two Terminators, and the Repulsor left. Whereas he had the whole aggressor squad and one eliminator and the like 4 Hellblasters left. So man wise, I probably could have beat him if the repulsor could have targeted, because the repulsor with space could have targeted everything, and I don't think he would have been able to get close to me. I could have just shot him all day long, but the problem is that because he had more men, he could move around the board more quickly. So I honestly could see someone tabling one of the. He could have tabled me, like absolutely. I feel like he could have tabled me, or I could have tabled him. Honestly, I think there was a chance I could have. Like I could eliminate the Eliminator, and the Terminators could have done some damage to one of the other squads, and the Repulsor finish it off. So I feel like I could have tabled him. More likely he tabled me, but so 56 to 31 was the final score. I lose, but that was a fun game. That was the most I feel more evenly balanced, challenging game, which is what I liked doing. So for my favorite game so far. So it was very fun. I learned quite a bit. Still don't know what to do with the Terminators or really the Vanguard yet. I'm debating what I should do with that because it's just kind of like, what am I doing with them? Like, what is my objective with them? I could put infiltrators on it. They could take an objective, but them being so melee heavy, I feel like maybe I should, unless I get another Vanguard to make him like a 10-man group like what he did, maybe I shouldn't necessarily do that type thing. Now, infiltrators, I know they start the turn off, but can infiltrators, I'm asking for advice here, because I don't know. Can infiltrators, if I bring them in from reserves, can they go anywhere with that ability or not? Because if they can, then I could just put them anywhere and that would be easy peasy. I can move them to anywhere on the board. Or is that infiltration ability mostly a first turn thing? Because I don't want to play incorrectly. You told me like some things like, I'm not sure that you have to determine all your guns, this and that. And I'm like, okay. But the infiltrator ability I need to look up on and find out, is that the way that is or what? So that is my question to all of you out there. So my record, as far as single matches, is 1-1. Team matches is I lost one, so 1 win, 2 losses so far. But next few days I'm gonna be focusing on writing and everything. Not planning on playing a game, except my against my brother maybe. Which I don't want to tell those. It's between me and my brother. But other than that, so lost once against Blood Angels, but it will not be the last time I faced them. because again, that was a very fun match. Trying to get the hand on. He's almost done. It's just getting this part. All right, well, I will see you in the next one and everything. Give some advice of what to do with specifically advice with infiltrators, Vanguard, possibly with Chaplain scenario, and kind of the Impulsor. I'm rethinking the Impulsor. Because the Repulsor can carry stuff. I'm like, okay, I'd rather do the Repulsor then, that I can carry stuff. I can carry my Furnace Marines inside. Okay, I think I'd like that. So I think I want to stick with a Repulsor, but something small that could replace the Impulsor where point-wise would be good. I'll be looking around, but thanks for advice and everything, and I know he's missing a hand so far, but so far he's coming out fine, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.